Dan, one thing you mentioned is Gene Orza, or at least that there's rumors now going around SI report and then the New York Post report that he had tipped off maybe Alex Rodriguez. Definitely, one major leaguer reportedly said that he told him you're going to be tested in September 24th. So make sure nothing's in your system. Like you said, if that turns out to first off, do you think that had the potential to actually happen? Do you think maybe it's just a rumor? And if that actually did happen, does that maybe blow this whole cover off the steroid thing, where now you get the saying that it's a conspiracy between the union and is even Bud Selig did he know about these things and was telling star players to watch out for your test? Or if that turns out to be true, is that worse for baseball than even the fact of Alex Rodriguez, the supposed clean guy, getting busted for steroids?
Yes, because now what baseball can say to all this stuff when it comes up is, well, at least we have a testing plan in place. At least all this led us to get drug testing in place. And we have a system now that works and is good and really kind of keeps the cheaters at bay. And if these allegations, the kind of stuff you're saying, turn out to be true, then that's all baloney. I mean, then they find out that the drug testing program has no teeth and no strength whatsoever. If people from the union and or Major League Baseball can tip off star players to upcoming tests so they don't get tested, or so they don't test positive, so that the game doesn't have more scandals.
Last one from us before we go, and it's probably the biggest question. It's actually our poll question. Is you have a vote in the Hall of Fame. Where does Alex Rodriguez is probably going to be the most polarizing player whenever he's ready to go. It's going to become the biggest debate, more so than Bonds and Combs, because they took it towards the end of their careers and pretty much now we label them as that. But Alex is going to have 9 more years of hope of what he says clean baseball.
He'll be playing in a testing era,
Yeah, exactly. When he becomes eligible for the Hall of Fame in 14 years, I think, if he doesn't get another contract,
right around the corner.
Yeah, exactly. What is your stance on it? What, if you could give us a little hint as maybe what you do? What do you think other people do in terms of Alex and his situation? Will they look at it as a whole, or will they just say cheater, stamp him cheater, and not even bother?
Guys, man, you said 14 years, and I'm doing the math. I'm going to be 50 years old. I have no idea what I'm going to be thinking. I don't. As of right now, my stance on the steroid guys is no. I don't vote for McGuire. I don't plan to vote for Bonds or Clemens. Or, as of right now. But I believe that this voting process for the Hall of Fame is subject to always thinking, always seeking out more information, always sort of revising your opinion when it's called for. And so, I'd say no right now. That's not to say I will never change my mind. I will never vote for. But as of right now, I'm a no on Alex Rodriguez if he was a steroid user, which obviously we now know he was.
You said you're willing to. Do you think as more of these players who we suspect of potentially using steroids get eligible, do you have to begin to change how you look at it in terms of, do you have to look at it and say, listen, they played in a steroid era, look at his career as a whole besides what, because you look at it, even though as Alex, you take away his 3 years, by the end of his career, he could still have, almost 600, 700 home runs. He might still have a Hall of Fame career without those 3 years. Do you have to start maybe looking at it and saying, listen, if you take out the years we suspected he used, does he still be a Hall of Fame? Do you have to maybe take it and weigh it against what he did without steroids?
Maybe, and you may just have to weigh it against the fact that, well, everybody was doing it, including the pitchers he was hitting against. It may be that I come to that. Others have already come to that. Well, everybody was doing it, so I'm just going to ignore it. But as of right now, there's no harm in withholding the vote.
Yep.
Mark McGuire is still on the ballot. He still gets more than 5% every year. So my not voting for him doesn't preclude him from being in the Hall of Fame. If 10 years from now the culture is different and everybody looks at it differently, including me, I can change my vote and put the guy in. Right now, there's no reason to rush a guy in the Hall of Fame if you're not sure he belongs.
All right, Dan. Well, good stuff as always, man. We'd love to have you on. Maybe next time we'll actually talk something like baseball.
The Yankees do play baseball. It's not just steroids.
Other teams, too.
Baseball's actually a game, if we
All
remember
right,
that.
Man, you guys have fun. Take
All
it
right,
easy.
thanks a lot, Dan.
Thank you much.